Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the archived version of the developer commentary run of Mirror's Edge Catalyst that we did as a live stream. This run was done as part of a charity marathon benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. It is presented without ads, and instead I would like to ask that if you enjoyed this content, please consider donating $1 or $2. You can find links that on the video and in the description. Enjoy.
I see a lot of people have asked, or maybe the same person, sorry if I ask about the stuff from the E3 2013 trailer and what happened to that and the leap across the glass that they shoot out, etc. So that the stuff for that trailer was built based on a mission we hadn't, we had planned to build, which was actually the Back in the Game mission. But if you compare that trailer to the, just look at the art. The art direction is completely different, or not completely different, but different enough. It was built on the parts where you run across a glass bridge and they shoot it out is actually the part where you escape in Back in the Game. That's the section. So it's kind of there still, but it changed during development. What else was in that? There was a room, the combat room. I think
was that the combat room from release? That was in some trailer or something.
No, that was used in another trailer. But this was really way earlier than that. You basically could see Faith, taking on a couple of guys in a big white space, and it was planned as something that could take place in Back in the Game, but we hadn't built Back in the Game then, so it was more like stuff that we planned to build. We built for that trailer, and that's not uncommon to build stuff, to show stuff before it's
Well, the question is how much does it change before you get to the point where it's done, and that's very hard to know beforehand because obviously you haven't built the thing.
No. But I think that teaser did a great job at setting the right tone and the vibe, and looking at that teaser and looking at what you actually do in Back in the Game, it's fairly similar, so we stuck to that. When you run through the city now, this is another interesting thing. It's later in the day.
Oh yeah.
So that's another thing we spent tons of time on. Time of day. But I'm happy we did, because it adds to me a lot. It just makes the city more interesting. It makes the place more interesting. It's not all about the second-to-second gameplay. It's about the place and how it changes and stuff like that.
The metagrids, they're a bit interesting. It was added. I think we added one as a sort of, here's a mission. It was supposed to be a side mission.
Yeah.
And then somebody just made this mechanic. And it was like, well, this is a good thing. Why don't we make more of these? And there was no time to make more missions. So we just basically went like, but we're making these anyway. So we made one per district.
And it's interesting because I saw that you didn't perform optimally while playing this one.
Oh no.
And that we actually changed. I think this one is we still allow you to fail a bit, whereas the later ones require much.
I think they were tweaked down a little bit more. I remember the first time I was playing it, I tried so many times on that one in downtown. But now I finish it with quite a lot of time to spare, to be honest. I could never do that before. What am I doing? I am going back to plastic, right? Which I can now do this for. No, wait, because we changed when the next one unlocks. It used to unlock directly after the metagrid.
Oh yeah.
What is it called? I can't even recall the name of it now. But yeah, the next side mission from Plastic used to unlock right away.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's about a lost runner who's being hunted by KSEC anyway.
Caught in the Web?
Caught in the Web, that's the one. No, we should go to the road, right?
The downtown one?
Yeah. That's also available now. When was it decided to add NVIDIA Ansel support? We partnered with NVIDIA sometime during the last 6 months, I think, or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
and then like they just wanted to get every little bit of fancy tech they had into the game, show it off. So they helped with a bunch of stuff.
I read about it. I know, and I talked to our TD and just said, please, please, this is awesome stuff, and it's really cool. There's I'm not even sure it's captured. I think it's captured with NVIDIA. There's a guy on Instagram that takes that I've started following who takes some uses it to get some really cool pictures.
Might be cinematic tools too.
What can you guys tell us about Plastic, the best character in the game? I really, really like Plastic, and
so do I.
Yeah, I think she's a great character, and I can't remember the actress' name, but she does such an amazing job with, you know, she just brought her to life. I love Plastic. I love Kuma. I think Kuma is just. Kuma is great, and she's fun, and she's also intentionally not the, you know. She's just she's somebody that is she's interesting. Basically, I just like her, and I think she's written great by Christopher, and she was just brought to life in a great way by the actress whose name I can't remember, and I'm sorry if she ever sees this.
I'm in the wrong side of this building. Can I get up there?
This is where I would be able maybe to guide you a bit if I was in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I think I've already solved the problem by the time you see that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was pointless. Wait. Don't want to go around. I think I could probably do that. No, I couldn't. Have to go further.
Ozioma Akaka. Thank you.
How long before the flight transition?
We
it's
have
not that far. We have Benefactor.
And then
this is the main mission. Okay then. A couple of dollars for that. There's also lots of pineapple going on. What do you guys think of the glitches found so far? I will say this primarily. I was very surprised at how quickly some of the, some really major ones were found.
I actually haven't. I don't know about that many of them, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Since I basically when I left DICE, I more or less immediately started thinking about the new stuff, and I haven't actually looked at. I've looked at a few speedruns and stuff online, but
you'll see. You will have seen a fair bit of them at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what was the first one? There was one that was found almost immediately. Was it the float glitch? It might have been that. It's like an incredibly major major glitch that was found almost immediately.
And it hasn't been patched, I guess? Or
no, well,
no?
Basically, most of the glitches that were found, at least as long as I was on that team, my call was, don't patch this. And basically the reasoning behind that was, the only effect of patching this is that speedrunners don't patch our game.
Okay, yeah.
And there are other things that are fairly important to patch.
Yeah.
So I would rather have people patch the game and not patch out the glitches.
Yeah, that sounds like a very good call.
Alright, so here's your opening then. So now that you guys have left DICE, what are you doing now?
I'll do my one and only plug. I started a new game dev studio with people from Frostbite and Rovio, and we're called Fast Travel Games, and we're doing VR, VR only. And right now we're a fairly small studio, and we tend to stay fairly small for a while. We've actually, we just signed one more, so there are soon 7 of us. And we're working on our first title, which I will not tell you much about now, but I think it's going to be great. And we're working for VR for the the big PC and PlayStation platforms. So that's what I'm doing. What are you doing?
What am I doing? Other than failing at Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I also started my own company, but basically I left fairly recently, and then I've been traveling and some other stuff, so I haven't really had the time to do that much stuff with it yet. My idea is I want to be able to do whatever I like in my time, so I have this company, and I might take some form of I might become hired game developer somewhere again, or I might not. But the important part to me has always been that if I do, this company that I now have will continue to exist and be allowed to do things on my side.
Yeah.
Exactly what that means, that will be something that we'll talk about later.
Yeah. That's actually one of the things we said starting out on our own company, is that we're not going to care about what people do in their spare time.
Which I think, more and more studios are understanding that as a key to retaining talent. So I think it's the industry is becoming slowly becoming better in that aspect.
Yeah. But I'm gonna answer another question here. Did you enjoy it at DICE? Oh God, yes. I was there for 10 years.
Yeah, I was there for 11. You don't do that if you don't enjoy it.
No, it was a great place, and of course you get frustrated with things. But I get frustrated at things at my new job as well. So I think, but yeah, it's a great place with great people, and they make, we made great games. So absolutely loved it at DICE.
There was some. There's a question I missed there that I wanted to answer. It has now scrolled off my chat window. Where did I go? No, this is right. I'm actually gonna pause here for a bit and find that question. Oh yeah, can I explain how exactly what the float glitch is and how it works. I cannot. A lot of the glitches that are in the sort of movement system are stuff that I never worked with, really. So all the animation-related stuff was with our gameplay code team, and I have no idea. Which is why I am also not going to explain it to you.
No, that was probably something in the interface between physics and the ant animation system, I guess.
Yeah, my guess is the animation system ends up in a state where it just gets stuck in this floating animation, or sort of it's a sitting down animation, and something maintains a velocity downwards. But exactly what that is, I don't know. Donation from CK Berry. Dark Souls is best Souls. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to stay away from mentioning Dark Souls every single time I'm talking, because it's such a cliche, you know. There was this great meme on Twitter where people posted, you know, you have to, every time you mention Dark Souls in a design discussion at DICE, you have to put $1 in a jar, because it, you know.
A lot of designers are really, really into Dark Souls.
Yeah. It's such a finely crafted game, and it has such a great sense of place, and the world is really, really alive. But it does become a bit of a cliche. You know, every game can't be like Dark Souls. You can't clone Dark Souls, and I think you can't clone Mirror's Edge either, for that matter. But it's just, you know, if you clone it, it just really becomes a clone. It's really hard to make something different from it.
I think the thing about it that makes it so different is that it accepts cutting away some parts of the audience. It accepts that there are people who really like this kind of game, and there are people who don't have the patience to grind this way, or to, you know, headbutt a game until you get through and get that sense of satisfaction. And by not catering to those people, the remainder, the players that actually do accept the premise, get a much better experience. And that's something that many other games don't.
Yeah.
Probably better to go from Plastic Slayer to Dogen. Would you want another Mirror's Edge game to be made? For sure.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, nobody has cloned Mirror's Edge. Nobody has done. The only game that is similar, I think, to the first Mirror's Edge is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. And I would very much like to see more games about Faith or other runners, and I would love to see it in this world that we built.
Yeah.
It felt like you all tried to cater to a broader audience with Catalyst. Yeah, sure, absolutely. That was also a design intent. We wanted to cater to more people.
I think,
and that's not wrong. It's just I think that's a bit. It kind of goes with AAA game development. It's you want a lot of people to play your game.
In essence, if you don't get enough people to play your game, you can't make the game.
No, exactly. I mean, it's a part of it, and it's. I mean, it is also, you know, you can have design constraints that are, you know, like, you know, you can only, we're gonna do this in 2D, or it's gonna be 3D, and you know, we can't. Whatever, there can be design constraints for everything, but you know, catering to a large audience is also actually a constraint because it means that there are some things you just can't do.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that you perhaps have to put effort and energy into that you maybe wouldn't, you know, normally prioritize.
Yeah.
It's not like you owe me anything.
Look,
exactly.
I've got something to square my debt with.
Don't be crude. I haven't seen you in 2 years and already...
How did you feel about the reviews that Catalyst got?
Come.
I felt, I mean, of course I wish that they would have been better. But I also felt that quite a few of them were fair in their assessment. And I know that, you know,
a human touch.
what I would like is that game reviews as a whole would be more...
You made me very angry, Faith.
Okay, I guess, with you know,
considering the extent.
I guess I think that I actually had no issues with the reviews. I personally have issues with scores, because the scores tell a story but it's often what's actually written in the review that is interesting.
Right now.
Then we will discuss your debt when you do.
But I felt that a lot of the reviews were they were fair, and of course you always want
I believe a show of good faith
reviews. You know, no, I don't think anybody who works in games
a little human touch
does it. Or actually, I take that back. Lots of people that work in games would probably be fine with just puttering away with whatever they're doing. But I definitely make games so others can play them. And of course, I want people to like what I'm building. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think, in a way, this game is very polarizing. There are a lot of people who really love it, and there are a lot of people who can't stand it. For very much the same reasons, but different fits to personalities and stuff. And if you put that together, the score you get is not this is awesome for some people and terrible for some. It's a mediocre game.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at it a little while back, and we have pretty much exactly the same score as No Man's Sky, which is considered the you know, for whatever good or worse, it's considered a huge misfire.
Yeah. Which I loved, by the way.
Yeah, and I think that can also be great, but the question is, what is your expectation and all of that? Like, if you look at reviews and if you look at what people are saying about the games, it's nowhere near the same, yet the scores are the same.
Yeah.
What kind of impression are you giving people then by those scores?
Yeah. So I love where, you know, the sites that actually don't use scores.
Yeah, I think the trend of not giving scores anymore is a great one.
Yeah.
I hope more sites are gonna catch on to that.
And I love the fact that lots of sites, you know, have started not reviewing games until a couple of weeks after release, you know, because they want more time, or, you know, they want to wait for the inevitable patches, etc., etc. And I think that's fine, and I think, but I do wish that game reviews would become more like film reviews or book reviews, for that matter, where it's not just about scores or, you know, which thing is the best. I feel like it's more interesting to read about what is interesting, you know.
Yeah, and different people play games in so different ways.
Yeah,
like the way probably me and Erik, the way we play games is not like what other people play, because we're probably broken.
Yeah.
And just sit around analyzing everything.
Yeah.
And there are going to be people who just want to play a story, and then there's people who want to spend tons of time speedrunning a game, and people who just like puzzling, and, you know, it's all of these different aspects of gaming, and they're all important aspects for... I mean, different people are going to have different things that are important with the game. And if you try to put a score to that, what does that say? Well, it just says it's going to be very, you know, mediocre because it doesn't cater to all of those types of players. But maybe it doesn't need to. Maybe it's not like Dark Souls. Maybe it's not even meant to.